What's up? I'm Justin. Welcome to Don't Disappoint Your Parents. Now, today's episode is really special to me because we're making Peking duck, which is a recipe I've been working on for the past half a year. My sister and I have a shared doc where I post all of my recipes in there, and this recipe isn't even shared to her. For a while now, I've been debating whether I should make an episode about this, but I think that if we make something great in this world, we might as well share it. And so, without further ado, let's get cooking. Today we're making my Peking duck recipe. After doing weeks of research and experimentation, I was able to create a recipe that I think rivals any restaurant's duck, at least in the US. Now, just a quick reminder to please subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with a friend because it really means a lot to me. And if you didn't know, all my recipes are in the description below, so definitely go check it out and follow along. We're going to start by making a stuffing. In a bowl, we're going to combine 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of chili sauce, 2 teaspoons of Chinese vinegar, 1 large teaspoon of 5-spice powder, 2 teaspoons each of salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of grated ginger, and 1 grated clove of garlic. If you want to learn how to make your own 5-spice powder, go check out my crispy pork belly video in the corner right now. Highly recommended. Anyways, mix the stuffing together and add a pinch each of star anise and Szechuan peppercorns. Add some cornstarch into the stuffing until you get a nice, thick, paste-like consistency. Use a maximum of 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Next, carefully pour the stuffing into the duck and sew the back end of the duck together with a bamboo skewer. This may take some practice, just try and replicate what I'm doing and make it as tight as possible. You want to use a young Peking duck that weighs around 4 to 5 pounds. This will give you the best results. Traditionally, people use neck-on ducks, but that's not completely necessary. Snip off any excess bamboo so that it doesn't damage the duck itself. Next, we're going to inflate the duck using an air compressor. When I was first starting to make this, I used a bicycle pump, which works completely fine. Try to stick the nozzle of the pump between the duck's skin and the meat so that the air separates the skin from the meat. This will help the fat render and the skin crisp up. Cut the wing tips off. You could use those to make a duck stock later. Attach a poultry hook if you have one, because it'll make our next step much easier. We're going to make a marinade for the duck. In a wok, add 3 cups of water, about 5 tablespoons of salt, half a cup of soy sauce, a quarter cup of dark soy sauce, a third a cup of Chinese vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a generous teaspoon of 5-spice powder, and a few extra pinches of Szechuan peppercorns and star anise. Bring this mixture to a boil. Once the marinade is boiling, we're going to ladle it over our duck until it gets a golden brown color and the skin tightens nicely. Make sure you cover all sections of the duck or else it won't brown evenly. Let the duck rest on a wire rack uncovered in a fridge for 2 days until the skin is completely dry. Meanwhile, we're going to make some Chinese pancakes. In a bowl, add a cup of flour and a third of a cup of hot water. Knead until you get a cohesive dough and let it rest for half an hour. Once the dough is rested, split it into 10 small, even balls. Roll 2 of the balls out into thin circles. Brush one of the pancakes with sesame oil and lay the other pancake over it. Roll these pancakes out together until you get a nice big wrap. Repeat for the rest of the balls. Next, in a small skillet, we're going to toast our pancakes until they're cooked and almost slightly brown. Finally, we're going to slice some scallions. Just slice the scallions into long, thin pieces. After 2 days, the duck should look beautiful, like this. Set an oven to 350 degrees convection roast while the duck comes to room temperature. Once the oven is preheated, bake the duck for about an hour, after which time the skin should be nicely crisp and brown. Let the duck rest for 10 minutes before draining out all the stuffing inside. We're going to use the breast meat for your Peking duck wrap. The duck legs are great just drumstick style. Carefully carve the meat off the bone and cut it into thin strips. Don't do what I'm doing here. For the first few times I've done this, I've cut it in slants, which just doesn't work as well. just slice it straight and thin and admire the nice crispy skin and tender meat. To assemble, take your wrap, add some hoisin or sweet flour sauce, your duck meat, and your sliced scallions, and enjoy the best Peking duck you're gonna get. The skin is crispy, and like once you bite into it, the fat kind of just like coats your mouth. It's just amazing. I know this dish seems like a lot of work, but try it out. It's really worth all the effort to have good Peking duck at home, and I guarantee you it's better than almost every restaurant in the US. Hope Chen's busy this week, so we have Jamie Chen here. Jamie, this is your favorite Peking duck. I've made it for you a few times, so enjoy.
And you made the pancake as well this time.
Yes, although it looks kind of ugly.
You're kind of ugly.
I know, thank you.
Peking duck is one of my all-time favorite foods. And this is my favorite Peking duck. Oh. It's really hard to get good duck in the States, and I'm always on the hunt for good duck places, so it's really awesome that you're able to get such crispy skin and such juicy, tender meat. It's really good. The pancake is good as well. Yeah, I'm super impressed. This is like one of my favorite foods.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Guaranteed better than most restaurants in the US.
Better than dadong.
Oh, better than dadong.
Better than dadong.
If you know, you know.